Okay, where to begin? So, I haven't done this in a very long time. I'm actually going to tell my story and do it a little different. Now, I usually just talk about it on my live. I used to do it on my old account. So, it's not. I have many stories, but this one particular, um, I normally do once a year. Um, or as often as I can. And I have not spoke about my ex that abused me. Um, it's been 6 years. It happened October 9th, 2019. We had met in April 3rd, 4th, around 2016. Yeah, because we were together for 3.5 years. And was it? Yeah, that's right. That's right. I had to. I'm. Y'all gotta. It's been a while, and I'm wanna share because many of y'all don't know. Um, I will. There will be some things I'm gonna show. So if it is gonna be unbearable, you don't have to watch the rest. But to me, when I tell or talk about my story, it seems to help me heal more and more. I can't say that I have healed completely, because it still has been a process. Regardless, I know it has been 6 years. You would think, yeah, well, I have moved on. I have. But there is still some pain stuck down inside. And I've been trying to work on some things again. I've been doing some things on myself. And I mean, as far as trying to make sure I be more mindful, because I need to, because when I get upset and when I get triggered on things, or I feel I'm being attacked, and it's not an excuse. It is not something I would wish on anybody, because like I said, I have moved on. I do not care for this man. He is where he needs to be. It took time for me to do that. And I want to show y'all some pictures. Hold on. And all right, and as you see, the pictures there that were shown, those are from him strangling me to the biting. As you see, also, my hand is swollen. It was on fire. So we had went to a friend's to go hang out, chill, whatever. Just a vibe, do something that night. And so he went to his cousin's, and it was just like down the street. He could just walk. But he comes back and he's like, "All right, babe, I'm ready to go. Let's go." And you could tell he was a little upset, and he got mad because he thought I was texting some dude, and I wasn't texting nobody. And my friend, she was trying to vouch and telling him that I wasn't. And I was on an app called Wish.com. And as I'm trying to leave out the door, he's bulking up at me. Both her and her boyfriend had asked him, please don't do that in front of our children. And did he listen? No. He was still steadily trying to bulk up at me. And so I was finally able to get up around him and go out the door and go out to the car. I go get in the car. Here he comes, and he smacks me in the face. And my friend comes out, and because she was watching out from the window, which I didn't know. Of course I didn't know, because I was outside in the car and I'm getting smacked in the face. And she's like, you okay? And I'm like, yeah, but she could tell I wasn't okay because I was crying. So that's where, after that, going down the road, that's when everything started. From him strangling me, to the pulling my hair, to biting me, to telling me get out the car. And he did have a stopping point, and and he told me to get out on the corner of the street and to walk home. I did so, but he also got out. He had ripped my shirt. He had broke my purse. He done took everything, like everything, my whole purse, anything that was that I had. He had my house key to my phone. That's how I have a small fracture in my left hand from him squeezing from during the whole time being with him. So then he tells me, no, get back in the car. And of course there's other people that are riding by and they're getting ready to turn. You would think, I'm sitting there thinking, are these people, don't they see this man ripping my clothes and grabbing me the way he is and everything? No, they didn't. And I understand, because people don't want to get involved with anything like that. So we go down the street, we go down to where the shopping center is, and my apartment is right behind the shopping center. So he tells me to get out, because that's what because he was like, I'm taking you home. I was like, yes, thank God, I'm get to go home, I can get away from him. Thank you, Jesus. Well, I get out the car, and I'm trying to make it as quick as I can. And this is, I don't know what time it is. I just know it was really dark. I knew it was late. And I was trying to be loud, because see if anybody would hear me. And before I could know it, before I could even get close to where I need to cross over the fence to go to my apartments, I didn't make it. I wasn't fast enough. I was trying to be fast. I was trying to run, but then, with me having no cartilage in my knees, and it's bone to bone, and he's a lot faster than me. He caught up to me and got me back into the car, and we went to go get his phone. But even though we go back to the friends, I got out. I stayed. I did the right thing. Finally, I feel safe. I stayed there for a couple of days. She asked me, do I need to call the police so you can make a report? I was kind of undecided. And then when I started thinking, because my hand was really burning and it was on fire, I couldn't understand what was wrong with my hand. And so I said, you know what? Forget it. Call the ambulance. Because with the ambulance, alone here came a sergeant. While I'm doing, getting prepped in the ambulance and everything, the EMS, the sergeant comes into the ambulance and starts asking me questions. He takes pictures of where he had me bruised up and everything. I gave him my report. Short story. Like I said, I stayed with her for a couple of days. No phone, no nothing. But I'm thankful. I'm very thankful and grateful and very proud of myself for doing the right thing, for staying instead of going back and getting that car. Because there's no telling what could have happened. No telling. I may not have been here today. So I thank myself and God for protecting me and doing what I need to do that was right and being smart to get away from him and not get back into that car. So when she took me home, when I went to went to the office, let them know what was going on, and that I'm back, and I was gonna tell him I have no way of getting into my home. Well, to find out, he went and he actually gave it to his uncle. Gave it to his uncle to go take there because he knew if he went there that they were gonna get him arrested because my godmama knew who he was, and so yeah. So I go up to my house. I make a phone call to my mom, and I told her what had happened, and she came up to Winston-Salem, North Carolina, from Charlotte, and came and got me and took me back home to their home and stayed with them for about a week. Well, when she brought me back, she said, you really had me scared, and more so when you opened that door because you looked like you was a ghost. And like, I'm like, wow, that's pretty scary to know that your mom is like, to know. And I know it scared her because she's like, God, my daughter don't look right. Let me take her home and take care of her for a while and get away from here. So as time went by, she texted me, and I didn't know this was going to be the last text I was going to ever get from her. A last thing a daughter could ever get. The one last text from their mama and saying, I'm in the hospital, they're going to send me to ICU. I love you. And I told her the last thing I could tell her was, and well, keep me posted. I love you too. I didn't hear from my mama for a while. Yes, I know when you're in ICU, they're not going to be able to have their phone. But I remember a while back when my mom had the gastric bypass surgery, and she was in 2 comas. But there was one other time after that she went to the hospital and they put her in the ICU, which I guess that means she wasn't that bad if she was able to use her phone. And we were texting. I remember that. I swear. I wouldn't make this up. That's why something just seemed off this time ago. And I asked my dad and my brother, do I need to come home? Because I was also in cosmetology school at Empire Beauty, and during this time, and they're like, no, you don't need to come home. Everything seems to be okay. We're just taking precautions. I'm like, but if you're taking precautions, I should come home, right? You would think. That it would have been smart for me to go home, be there, to be with my mom, be with them, and blah, 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 whatever. In that case, no. Next thing I know, my dad's texting me October 25th. And this happened October 9th that I got abused, 2019. My mom passed October 25th. I nearly lost my mind. My friend had came by. She wasn't there when I got the text. Of course, they didn't call me. They texted me to tell me my mom's gone and that they're going to come get me on a Saturday. So it was a Friday, and they had to come get me on a Saturday. Therefore, I didn't get to say my goodbye, my last goodbye. Didn't even get to be there. But you know what? It's okay because my mom knew where my heart was. But it has bothered me for 6 years that I never got a chance to say, I love you. I wish you well. No goodbye. I never even knew why my mom knew my mom was sick, but my mom was fine when she left me. And then get a text saying I'm in the hospital, I'm going to ICU, not knowing what was wrong, nothing, no one tells me, they don't tell me. I'm just, no, all I knew is my mom is gone. Gone forever. You know, I had to redo this video, and I know I started tearing up. And I know on these other videos, there was this one here I had to redo because something happened. And this is the only one I had to redo to make sure my story was complete. And this is what the part was missing, me, what had happened, what he had done, and then from me losing my mama. I don't know what I missed to say, but I do know this. And if I didn't, if the video I did get missing, and if I didn't say this, cherish your mama. Cherish her. This video was very hard to do. So after this video, whatever the next one is, it will pick up from where I left. I just know that I got away. Look, I even had to sneak this man into my home. Snuck him in. Because he was running. He missed court date. Not only that, I even remember, and this is I think maybe I needed to redo this because I did miss a part of saying this. I almost lost my apartment. I almost got evicted because I had him in my home, and he had several things on him. A misdemeanor, the abuse. He had felonies. He had 3 counts on him, if not more. For me, and let me tell you, I'll never forget that day. I get a knock at my door. It's officers. They're wearing all brown. My godmama told me there was dogs, and they had rifles and big guns surrounded the building. You know how they knew? Because someone when we were at the store called. I'm not mad. At first I was, but I'm not. I'm kind of glad they did it. But they let him go the next day. Because like I said, he ran for 2 years. I told you I was with this man for 3.5. The first year was great. First year was great. Took me out on dates. Met his baby mama and his son. That was getting ready. He was grown. Almost 18. No. Actually, no. He was fixing to graduate. He was fixing to graduate. And we went to his son's graduation. I've met his family. Well, his dad is passed, and so is his mama. So I met all the rest of his other family and his friends. Like I said, he introduced me to his son, his baby mama, and we were all good. Everything was good. Everything. We did everything. Wherever you saw him, I was right with him that first year. When we met, I was staying. And this is a part I missed too. When we met, I was staying with a friend of mine, real good friend of mine. My best friend. But she had to put him out because we got in a big fight. You know what she told me then? You don't need to be bothering with that man. He is no good for you. And I was making excuses then. I ain't gonna lie. Sure did. And she was right. Nicole, you was right. I should have left him alone then. I should have. It was his birthday that day. May 12th. Days after Pop's birthday. We had some great times, you know. I won't never forget them. Just like I can't seem to erase the memory of what this man has done to me. Because I'm telling you, when he pulled my hair, bit me, strangled me, fractured my hand, and I have issues with this left hand. I can't hold my phone for a very long time because I start getting real tingly and starting hurts. It used to be just when it get cold, my hand would really hurt. Like right now, today, it really hurts. We were even in our relationship, we ended up being homeless together. Sure, I ain't got nothing to hide. I ain't got nothing to lie about. I had to go stay, after that happened, I went and stayed with his stepsister. But I'm going to tell you that she don't consider him as family, his stepsister. But she welcomed me into her home until I can get on my feet. But then I had to leave because a situation had happened. And I was on the street. I stayed in the park for a while until I can get myself I can get to the shelter. And next thing I know, me and him run up, and then we both end up going. We did, no lie. He went to the men's. I went to Salvation Army because we weren't married, so we had to be separated. I'm telling you, I went through some stuff with this man. I really did. I went through a lot of stuff. The cheating. He cheated on me while we were in the shelter. Tried to lie and he lied and tried to say the person that was telling me that that he was showing the fellas that we were associated with at the time while we were homeless. And I remember one day, and I remember this because he was in the parking lot of Salvation Army and huddling with the fellas and showing them on the phone. But when this girl was telling me that he was trying to show the video of this girl on his phone that was naked and they were doing things sexually, intimacy. I don't even know if I can say that or not, but yeah. And I took his word for it because I thought people were being jealous of the relationship we had. I stuck up for that man for so long. Wish I never did. I wish I would have left years ago, but I didn't. I felt like there was something about this man that I needed to be with him and that I loved him. I loved that man so much more than I loved my own self. I'm telling you, that man cheated on me several times. I knew when he was cheating, even when I was living in my apartment. Yep. Sure did, but I'm not going to talk about it too much because just know I try to do the right thing by getting out of it. Sucks. But you never realize that somebody that is also not also there, even though they will show you they love you, that's love bombing. They manipulate you. They're a narcissist. And you know what else I had learned? Someone that's like that, and you're with them for so long, and you have also picked up things. They say that you can pick up being a narcissist. And I hope to God I'm not being one. And I appreciate everyone always telling me how I'm such a sweet and kind person and I'm amazing. But you don't know how I feel deep down sometimes. There's times I just want to scream and shout, and I've been doing that to the wrong people. Because I feel like I'm being triggered. I feel like I have to save myself and protect myself when I do these things. Because I get scared. I get frightened. It don't matter how many times someone can tell me how much they love me. But I have to love myself. It feels nice to hear someone say it, especially a man. But it's still so hard. You want to feel it, but you can't feel it because they're so far away and you can never be with, don't know if you're going to ever be with them. It feels nice at times, but you still don't know how, if it's real. Just being honest. Straight honest. It's scary to fall back in love. It's a great feeling to feel, but scary as hell. Scary to be in love, but not scary to love yourself. Because you don't know if that person is being for real. Someone can tell you anything they want to tell you. Trust me, I know. I know. I'm still fighting, and I'm gonna continue. And I hope this video, I hope whoever it reaches, please love yourself. I had to go get me some tissue. I wanted to wipe my face because my face was getting really itchy and stuff. And but anyway, so as I was saying, yeah, that was really hard to hear. And like over the years, since then, I always was like, wow, if I didn't do what I did by going in and staying in my friend's house, and it's not that, oh well, what if, or this or that, but I'm just thankful. I'm thankful. I'm grateful and proud of myself for doing the right thing by not saying, hey, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go with him and keep getting done this way, because there's no telling what could have happened. I may not be here. I'm very lucky. I'm very lucky. I'm very lucky that I made the right decision. I could have made the wrong, and I may not have been here. So I do want to say this. If anybody is going through this type of situation, a DV relationship, and that's either in a relationship, that's with family, a friend, that's anybody, ask for help. Reach out to somebody, because somebody might have the resources. If you don't have the resources, because I didn't. I didn't know what to do but to call my mom. But I had a report. And that's the other thing, is very important. It's very important to make sure you document. If you're not making a report, document times, days, have pictures, documents. I'm saying this because there might be somebody out there that may not know this. I had the DA on my side. I stayed in very well connected with them afterwards. The man had ran 2 years. Not only that, during the time, it didn't matter if I couldn't even make, let me say this, let me say it wouldn't have mattered, because it would have mattered. If I was able and had to add an address for my ex, I could have done a report, or not a report, yes, a report, but to where he could only come so far to me. But I didn't. So my only thing I could have done was do the best thing, because he still came around. It didn't matter who was in the office, because my godmama wasn't working there at the time afterwards, and they didn't know what he looked like. But the people that lived there did, but they let him in. So I kind of had to still go through the process of being in a relationship with him. Sounds crazy, don't it? But you only can do what you can do that's going to be best so that it don't happen again. I have let him in my home. I have let him stay the night with me. I have fed him. I snuck out my apartment to meet him in certain places to feed him. When I tell you, in my mind, I thought it was going to work. In my mind, when this man tells me I'm going to change, I won't do it again, I'm going to go seek help, I believed in it. You want to know why? Because I do believe people can change. I watched my mom stay with my dad. But let me tell you, I asked her, why? Why you still with him? And you still allow him to do this to you? And to me. You know what she said? I have you two to look out for. There was nowhere for her to go when we were kids. So, yeah. She was doing what a mother would do at the time of that time frame when females were getting abused. There was no one to go to. Didn't know who to go to. Financially, she wasn't gonna be able to do it on her own. She didn't think that family was gonna bring her in. Now, these are things that my mom had told me. I can only tell you what I know my mom had told me. And this was years ago. This is way before I even went through this to ask her, why? Why couldn't you just leave Dad? Why? Because she said, because of me and my brother. And I had to understand that and respect that. But she also still loved my dad. And I understand that. When you're with somebody for so long, it's hard to just kind of walk away sometimes. But when you have finally had enough, and trust me, I went with my mom one time. She went to a lawyer. I was with her. And she got a divorce. And I was so proud of her. My mom got a divorce. And she let me be a part of that. That's why I felt calling my mom was the right thing to do. Hey, Mom, I hate to tell you this, but I was just abused by my ex. Ooh. But guess what? My mom was there for me. My dad was, but he was mad as hell. And I don't blame him. I don't blame him. My brother was ready to find him himself. He brought him a bat when they came. My dad didn't come. There was just my brother and my mom. They came and picked me up. Like I said, I stayed in Charlotte, North Carolina for a whole week so my mom could take care of me. Because I needed her. I need her now. And I'm going to tell you why. Right after she brought me home, within a week or so later, about a week later, she texted me. The last text that a daughter could ever get. Oh, God. Sorry about that. So, yeah, I get a text. The last text I thought that was not going to be my last. Tells me she's getting ready to go to the ICU. She's at the hospital. And she says, I love you. I said, okay, keep me posted. I love you too. Well, days go on, days go on, days go on. Almost a week goes by. I don't know nothing. I ask my dad and my brother, do I need to come home? And mind you, during this time, I'm also going to hair school, cosmetology school. Empire Beauty is where I went. And I get told, well, no, we're just taking precautions. Okay, but I should come home. My mom's sick. My mom's in the hospital. I don't know what's wrong with my mother. Still this day, I never knew. I still don't know. I get a text after coming home from school in the evening, October 25th. Told you, I can remember everything. And it was evening. My friend came over, but she had left her daughter with me and had to go do something. When I got the text, that was not a text I wanted. A text that I lost myself. I literally lost myself. My mom passed October 25th. Weeks after being there for me